Hey everyone. Alright, today's video is going to be over division with positive and negative fractions. Make sure that you record in your notes everything you see me writing down. Your objective for today, I will be able to divide positive and negative fractions. So let's review. Whenever we divide fractions, we flip the second fraction and then we multiply. And whenever we flip the second fraction, that's finding the reciprocal of that fraction. So let's do an example together. If I have 1/4 divided by 1/3, I'm going to flip the second fraction and then I'm going to change this to multiplication. So I really have 1/4 times 3 over 1. Now I just do normal multiplying with fractions. So multiply numerators. 1 times 3 is 3. Multiply denominators. 4 times 1 is 4. That could not be reduced, so this would be our final answer. Okay, let's review integer rules since we will be dividing with positive and negative fractions. We know that a positive divided by a positive is simply just a positive answer. Now, whenever we divide, we can also use Mike-Do, just like we did with multiplication. It's going to work the same way. We're going to look at the signs of the numbers we're working with, cover those up, and then we'll be left with our answer. So again, a negative divided by a negative would be a positive, and a positive divided by a negative would be a negative. Right, so the same as with multiplication. The only new step here is to use Mike-Do. Everything else is what you've done before. So after using Mike-Do, we want to change any mixed numbers to improper fractions. Then we're going to flip the second fraction and multiply numerators, multiply denominators, and simplify. And if we have an improper fraction, we will change it back to a mixed number. So let's do some examples together. Okay, example 1, we have negative 7/8 divided by 1/4, sorry. Negative 7/8 divided by 1/4. So first thing I want to do is use Mike-Do, so I can go ahead and determine the sign of the answer. So we have a negative and a positive, so I'm going to cover that up on Mike-Do, and we are left with a negative. So that means we're going to have a negative answer. So now, I want to change mixed to improper. These are not mixed numbers, so we get to skip step 2. Step 3 says flip the second fraction and multiply. So I'm going to flip the second fraction and then I'm going to multiply. So I have negative 7/8 times 4 over 1. So I'm going to multiply numerators. 7 times 4 is 28. And 8 times 1 is 8. And remember, this is a negative answer. So we have negative 28 over 8. This is improper, so we want to make that a mixed number. And remember, in 7th grade math, we say top dog goes in the house when we divide. 8 goes into 28 3 times, which is 24. And 8 minus 4 is 4. So we get 3 and 4/8. 4/8 can be reduced, and they can be divided by 4. So that's 3 and 1/2. So our answer is 3 1/2. All right, example 2. We have negative 4/5 divided by negative 1/7. So I have a negative divided by a negative, so I'm going to go ahead and use Mike-Do to determine the sign of the answer. So I'm going to cover up the negatives. I'm left with a positive. So I know I'm going to have a positive answer. Positive answer. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve this. We don't have mixed numbers, so we don't need to change to improper. So now we're just going to flip the second and multiply. So 1 over 7 becomes 7 over 1. And then I'm going to change my division to multiplication. So I have negative 4/5 times negative 7 over 1. And again, I know this is going to be positive. So I'm going to multiply numerators. I have 4 times 7, which is 28. And in the denominator, we have 5 times 1, which is 5. So now I have a positive 28 over 5. This is improper, so I want to make it mixed and divide. Again, top dog goes in the house. 5 goes into 28 5 times, and that's 25. And 8 minus 5 is 3. So that means my answer would be 5 and 3/5. I cannot reduce it, so this is our final answer. All right, example 3, we have 1½ divided by -1 and 2/3. So first thing I'm going to do is use Mike Dude. I have a positive divided by a negative, so I'm going to cover that up on Mike Dude. I'm left with a negative. So I know that I'm going to have a negative answer. Now, second step, we want to change mixed numbers to improper fractions, and we do have mixed numbers here. So I have 2 times 1, which is 2, plus 1, which is 3. So I have 3 over 2 divided by, now over here I've got 1 times 3, which is 3, plus 2 is 5. So this becomes negative 5/3. All right, now I'm going to flip the second fraction and multiply. So this is going to become negative 3 over 5, and we're multiplying. So 3 over 2 times negative 3 over 5, and remember, this is going to be a negative answer. So I multiply numerators. 3 times 3 is 9. Multiply denominators. 2 times 5 is 10. So I have negative 9 over 10. That cannot be reduced, and it's not improper, so that is our answer. Okay, now it's time for you to try the following 3 problems. Remember to use Mike Dude and follow all of the steps that you see here. Don't forget your summary whenever you're finished. Bring your notes to class, and we'll see you next class day.